Absentee owners. Oh my gosh, do I love me some absentee owners. You can build your entire real estate career, or at least a large portion of it, if you understand how to tap into this niche resource that so few agents ever go and try because they don't know how to do it, they don't know how to figure out the system, they don't know how to talk to them, they don't know what to say, and they don't know what they need. I'm going to teach you all of that today. So, we're going to take a deep dive into absentee owners. Now, a couple of things that you're going to want to check out. We have our script book because we're going to be talking about a script that we use when we speak to absentee owners. Now, some of you might be like, I don't even know what an absentee owner is. Okay, what we're talking about here are properties that are owned that the people that own them don't live in that physical property. So they're absentee owners. So this could be a landlord, it could be a vacation property, it could be an Airbnb. Basically, it's not their primary residence. And we're going to talk about how you can market to them so that you can build relationships and be a resource to them when they're ready to sell. They all want to sell at some point. There's no emotion in these properties because they don't live in them. So again, whether it's tenant occupied, Airbnb, vacation property, whatever it is, I'm going to explain to you how to access and tap into this resource. Let's get started. When we talk about this, we have to talk about how to find them. Now, you have two options, in my opinion, that I would use. Number one, a paid option, which is the Red X. They're fantastic. They do all this legwork for you. You can tap into certain mapped areas, make it very specific. The Red X, you'll see in the below comments, there's a promo code there. You can use that promo code. It'll give you a big discount. It'll make all of this a lot easier for you. Not only do they give you the addresses, but they're going to run and try to find the phone numbers for anyone they possibly can using a proprietary algorithm that'll give you this data. Remember, you didn't realize it as a real estate professional. You're in the data harvesting, then data nurturing, then relationship building game. People think that it's just the relationship building game, and those are the people that have okay businesses. When you understand that you're in the data harvesting and data nurturing and then relationship building game, you have a huge business. That's what I want you to have, is a huge business. So how do I find them? Paid version. Now, if you wanted to do this on the cheap and not spend anything, or you don't have a budget right now to cover what you need for Red X, then all you need to do is go to your MLS, go to the county records section of your MLS. We call it realist tax in ours. I don't know what it might be called in yours. And you can run these settings. So you'll run a search and you'll set your settings up, and it'll just say that any property that the actual homeowner's address is not their living address or mailing address, they'll access that. Now you'll have a list then of the addresses. Now you got to do the legwork to go try to find phone numbers so you can speak to these absentee owners. Then, if you want to do that, you can use what we use, truepeoplesearch.com. Type in the address. It'll use its algorithm to try to find an owner with a phone number. There's also some other free ones, 411.com, yellowpages.com can do this for you as well. And you can go one by one getting this information. You can do that if you can get the phone number, or you could just start mailing to them. And we're going to talk about some mailing ideas that you can do as we go forward here. Let's talk about what to say to them. Now, again, brendanbartic.com, you can download this script that I'm going to take you through. But let's say either you did it through the paid version. Here's what we're going to start with, is our absentee owner script. So now, anytime we're going to do a script, we want to practice it a couple times first. You might want to write this out a few times. You might want to go to role play. Every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, we have live role play, Mountain Standard Time at 12 o'clock. Come join us. Come learn how to have these conversations. Well, what's going to happen if they say this, if they say that? All of that, it's on our Facebook page where you can get the link to join us, Brendan Bartic Real Estate Coaching. Go to that Facebook group. It's a private group with some of the most elite real estate agents across the country. Join us and we can start practicing this information. When I call up, I'm going to go through this as simply as I can. I'm going to say, hi, I'm looking for John. Hi, John. My name is Brendan with XYZ Company. I was calling about your property on 123 Elm Street. I work with a lot of buyers in your area, and I wanted to see if you had any interest in selling that property. Pretty simple. Think about it. Hey, I'm Brendan with XYZ Company. I was calling about your property at boom, boom, boom. Hey, I was curious if you had any interest in selling that property. They're either going to say yes, no, or hang up on you. Pretty much three things could happen here. And there's obviously variances, maybe not now, but later, but pretty much those three. So in our script, we wrote, if it was a yes, you're gonna say, fantastic. They go, yes, oh my gosh, you called me, I can't wait to sell this property. Yeah, I was just thinking about it. We've just found out that my son got into Harvard and we need to pay for college, so we gotta sell this property. We just found out that my mom needs hip replacement surgery, so we need the cash. Everybody needs money at a certain point to do something else. These properties are investments to help them get to where they're wanting to go. Fantastic. Is it currently rented? Yes. Okay. And how much would you like to sell it for? Well, I don't know. Okay, great. Just always asking. No idea if it was a perfect number, cash offer, really was dead on, any number that comes to mind. Well, $500,000. $500,000. Excellent. Okay, perfect. And if it were the perfect situation, when would you like to have the property sold? Well, I guess as soon as the lease is up. Okay, so as soon as the lease is up with the tenant, excellent, okay. So I would say, I'll repeat back to them, and then I would say, okay, great. The next step is for us to meet at the property. I have availability today at 4 or tomorrow at 1. Now, if they're out of state, that can't happen, remember? If they have a property manager, you're gonna end up meeting the property manager there. We teach this in our advanced elite progression series, how to work with property managers, how to make this a win-win. Go to our coaching website, you can find out all of our different courses, but that's a whole nother conversation. This is kind of a basic overview of understanding how to start tapping into this market, and there's a lot of little nuance that goes along with it. So that's if they say yes. What if they say no? So no, okay, I can appreciate that, even if it was a cash offer over market value. No. Okay, I can appreciate that. Would you be interested in any additional investment opportunities? So I just took them from, they don't want to sell, maybe they want to buy. Would you like to buy any additional? What's your portfolio look like? Is this your only investment property? Would you like to buy any additional investment? So if they say no again, right? So I would say I can appreciate that. John, I work with a lot of buyers and investors in the area, and if you were to sell it, when do you think that would be? I don't know. I mean, I planned on holding on to it for 3 or 4 years until XYZ happens, or never, or sometime. Okay, that's exciting. Update database, you know, 2 years from now when Johnny graduates, 2 years from now when we decide to retire, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever it is. And then I go into just kind of building rapport. Terrific. How long have you owned the property? I'm curious. How'd you happen to purchase in this area? Well, in addition, I send out a quarterly market report to all of the neighbors. I'd love to send that to you. Would you like to receive that via mail or regular email? So, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a check down process that we're doing here, okay? When we're looking at this script. So scripts, again, I can't have a 40-page script. There could be a million different variations of what are going to happen or what could happen in this conversation. Another way to work with absentee owners, obviously we have this intro script, very basic script. I would just call up and I would say, hey, I was curious about your property. I'd like to make a cash offer on. They go, what? Yeah, I'd like to make a cash offer, or my business partner would like to make a cash offer. Again, if you have a deal out there that's a good deal, I will buy it. Just call me about it, send me the details. You always have a cash buyer for the rest of your life. Make sure you know that. If you have the deal and a deal makes sense, you have a cash buyer. Always, always. Make sure you understand that. So when I'm calling up a landlord and letting him know I have a cash offer or I have a cash buyer that'd be interested in purchasing their property, I do. It just depends on the terms of what that deal is going to look like. That's all that matters. So most investors are going to go, well, I don't think so. Okay, well, even if it was something crazy, even if the offer was exactly what you were looking for, even if I could make you a cash offer, the tenant could stay in place, not be bothered, everything could be smooth, and all you do is get a big check when this is all said and done. Well, I'm really worried about taxes and capital gains, and I'm worried about this. That we teach in our advanced courses, right? So there's ways to get around all of these things. Whether it's a 1031, whether it's doing investment REITs where we're putting this into a stock portfolio, so many other things we can do. But you got to start diving into this absentee owner world because it's not something we can teach you in 8 to 10 minutes. All right. This is a huge book of business that we're going to be working on. In addition to this, we have an entirely separate video that we talk about mailing to absentee owners. So make sure you check that out. But here's the thing. I'm going to start mailing, calling, providing value. And we know that these same owners always have the same issues, especially if the property is occupied by a tenant. We call it TTL. They have tenant issues, toilet issues, or late payments, meaning the tenants are a nightmare. Something's always breaking. The toilet's broken, the refrigerator's broken, the dishwasher's broken. And then late payments. The tenants aren't paying them on time. So we are a lot of times focusing our mailers on those pain points to just constantly remind the owners, here's how we can help you get away from that. Are you sick of this? Do you need help with that? And then again, just providing value. If you are an out-of-state owner, what would you find as a value? Well, of course, market stats, of course, tax ideas, of course, all of these things. And maybe it's not of course, maybe you just need to start researching it a little bit more. There's plenty of information out there, but be a resource for these owners. So when the time comes, you're that guy or gal. They go, oh man, you know who specializes in these tenant-occupied properties? Oh, that's right, that guy, that Brendan Bartic guy. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm gonna give him a call today. Or Susie Samsonite, or whatever the name is, whoever's dominating your market. Here's the thing, no one else is doing this. I can't beg people to do this process because again, it takes a little bit of work, a little bit of research, and it takes some systematic processes to make it really fly. But it's such an untapped market. So here's what you do today. Start doing some research. Start picking out the area you want to focus on. Come to Roleplay, practice the script. Come and join us for all of the things that we offer right at brendanbartic.com. We'll have all of this. We have elite group coaching. We have one-on-one coaching. Get involved. Learn what other people won't do so you can have what they want. And as always, I wish you great success.